device designed to capture your attention. Lights, screens, traffic, movements everywhere. And no matter where you are, on the road, in a mall, even walking outside, there's always something competing for your attention. But here's a strange question. What if seeing more actually means noticing less? Think about it. How much of what you just saw do you actually remember? Imagine you're driving on Sheikh Zayed Road. Cars around you, navigation on, road signs coming up quickly, maybe even a large digital billboard on the side. In that moment, your brain is trying to process multiple streams of information at once. But here's the important part. You're not actually processing everything. Your brain is constantly filtering, deciding what to focus on and what to ignore. So, let me ask you something. Myth 1, true or false? The more visual stimulation there is, the worse your attention becomes. I'll give you a second. This is actually false. Or at least incomplete. According to research by Lavie, attention doesn't just break down in complex environments, it actually becomes more selective. This idea is part of what's known as perceptual load theory. When the environment is simple, your brain has spare capacity. So, it processes relevant information, which leads to distraction. But when the environment becomes more complex, your brain uses up that capacity, and as a result, it starts filtering out irrelevant stimuli. So, surprisingly, in high-load environments, you may actually become less distracted. If that is true, then this should be also true, right? And now, time for myth number 2. If you're not distracted, your attention must be working perfectly. True or false? I'll be giving you a few minutes to think. And that is also false. Because attention doesn't only fall through distraction, it can also fail by missing important information. In a high perceptual load situation, your brain is only focused on the main task, but that may fail to detect other relevant stimuli. And this is where things become more complex. As later research suggests, this increased selectivity can come at the cost, especially in the real-world environments, where multiple important cues compete for attention, according to Murphy et al. So attention isn't just about what distracts you, but also about what you fail to notice. Okay, so now let's go back to the driving example. On a busy road like Sheikh Zayed Road, drivers are dealing with traffic, speed, navigation, lane positioning, and road signs all at once. This creates a high perceptual load environment. According to the load theory, this should reduce distraction from irrelevant stimuli, like advertisements or billboards. But at the same time, it increases the likelihood of missing critical information. For example, a driver might fail to notice a sudden lane change or miss an important road sign. And this becomes especially important in the UAE, where reports indicate that distracted drivers remain a major concern, with many drivers still engaging with mobile phones while driving. But this isn't just about driving. Think about environments like Dubai Mall. A crowded metro station. There are screens, signs, people, movement, all competing for attention. In this situation, your brain has to prioritize what matters the most. Have you ever walked past a sign and only realized that it was important after you missed it? That's not necessarily a distraction. It can be a result of perceptual load, where your brain filters out information that is considered less important that moment. Research on the real-world environment suggests that complex settings can actually influence performance, not just by increasing distraction, but by increasing the risk of missing relevant cues depending on the task. So, the relationship between visual complexity and attention isn't as simple as we might think. More stimulation doesn't always make attention worse. In fact, it can reduce distraction, but at the same time can increase the likelihood of missing important information. So maybe the real question isn't, are we too distracted, but rather, what are we failing to see? In a visually complex environment like Dubai, attention isn't just limited, it's selective. And sometimes that selectivity comes at a cost.